If you have diabetes, you already know how complicated eating bread is. One wrong slice can spike your blood sugar to dangerous levels. You read labels, you calculate carbs, you try to be careful. But the truth that the bread industry doesn't want you to know is that practically every bread brand sold in American supermarkets is a disaster for diabetics. White bread has a glycemic index of 75 to 90. This means that one slice of regular white bread causes a blood sugar spike as fast as eating pure sugar. Your body has to pump insulin to compensate. Your blood sugar rises dramatically. And then, 3 to 5 hours later, it crashes miserably, leaving you tired, depressed, desperate for more carbs. This is the cycle that puts more diabetics at risk of severe complications. Today I'm going to reveal exactly which 7 brands you should avoid completely, and the 2 brands that are truly safe for diabetics who want to control their blood sugar. Oro-Wheat Country White. Oro-Wheat is a brand that seems like a healthier alternative. It offers whole grain, whole wheat, country white lines. But this is an illusion. Oro-Wheat belongs to Bimbo Bakeries, the same mega corporation behind multiple other bread brands. And they all share identical industrial practices destructive to your metabolism. Oro-Wheat Country White contains 19 grams of refined carbs per slice, plus 3 grams of added sugar. One slice spikes your blood sugar as fast as conventional cheaper white bread. Oro-Wheat whole wheat looks better on the label, but it has a GI of 65 to 71, still too high for diabetics. And it contains added sugar in practically all lines. The worst is the deceptive marketing. Oro-Wheat makes it seem like their whole grain lines are healthy, but they're basically sugar and refined flour with some grains to seem premium. For diabetics worried about blood sugar, one slice of Oro-Wheat causes exactly the same dangerous spikes as cheaper brands. Recommendation: avoid Oro-Wheat. Thomas's English Muffins. Thomas's English Muffins seem harmless. It's just a breakfast muffin, right? But for diabetics, Thomas's is a hidden glycemic bomb in attractive packaging. A single Thomas's English muffin contains 24 grams of total carbs, practically identical to 2 to 3 slices of conventional white bread. But worse, it contains added sugar that's not obvious on the label. The first ingredients are enriched flour, water, yeast, sugar. Sugar is 4th ingredient listed. This is not healthy breakfast. It's basically a dessert disguised as breakfast bread. Thomas's English muffins also have practically no genuine fiber, what you need as a diabetic to slow sugar absorption. Without fiber, that sugar enters your bloodstream explosively. Thomas's belongs to Bimbo Bakeries, same giant corporation that produces multiple brands. Same agenda of profit over health. Recommendation: absolutely avoid Thomas's English muffins. King's Hawaiian Sweet Bread. King's Hawaiian is a brand that markets traditional Hawaiian sweet bread. The packaging is attractive. The brand is recognizable in practically every supermarket. But for diabetics, King's Hawaiian is an absolute disaster. King's Hawaiian contains an extraordinary amount of sugar. A single slice contains approximately 20 grams of total carbs, much of it pure and added sugar. What makes King's Hawaiian different, worse, than other breads is that it's deliberately marketed as sweet bread. The brand knows it has massive sugar, but it keeps selling to unsuspecting diabetics who think it's just normal bread. King's Hawaiian has practically zero genuine fiber. This means the sugar enters your bloodstream explosively. For diabetics, one slice can cause blood sugar spikes of 200 to 300 mg/dl in minutes, dangerous spikes that increase risk of complications. King's Hawaiian also contains added sugar in combination with industrial ingredients that cause inflammation in diabetics. Recommendation: absolutely avoid King's Hawaiian if you have diabetes. Aunt Millie's Giant White Bread. Aunt Millie's is a brand that seems regional, more homemade, and trustworthy. It started in 1901 in Indiana, seems traditional, made with care. But their giant white bread line is as bad as wonder for diabetics. Aunt Millie's Giant White Bread contains refined carbs, added sugar, and practically no genuine fiber. One slice is approximately 14 to 15 grams of refined carbs, dangerous and high glycemic impact. What makes Aunt Millie's dangerous is the deceptive marketing. The brand seems traditional, homemade, made by people who care. People think it's better simply because it looks less industrial than Wonder Bread. but it's practically identical in glycemic composition. Important note, Aunt Millie's does have a live carb smart low carb line that's acceptable for diabetics. But the giant white bread line is disastrous. For diabetics, one slice of Aunt Millie's giant white bread spikes blood sugar as fast as Wonder Bread, the brand you know to avoid. Recommendation: avoid specifically Aunt Millie's giant white bread. Stroman white bread. Stroman is another brand from Bimbo Bakeries. You already know what that means. Same corporation, same practices destructive to diabetic metabolism. Stroman is a regional brand that started in 1892, but was acquired by Bimbo. Now it uses identical industrial formula as other Bimbo brands that you should avoid. Stroman contains refined carbs, added sugar, and practically no genuine fiber. One slice is approximately 13 to 15 grams of refined carbs, glycemic impact that causes rapid spikes. What makes Stroman particularly dangerous is its invisibility. It's not as recognized a brand as Wonder or Sara Lee, but it's in practically every American supermarket. Diabetics buy it without realizing it's as bad as other brands they consciously avoid. Stroman also contains monoglycerides and other industrial additives that don't help your metabolism or glycemic control. Recommendation: avoid Stroman. Brownberry bread. Brownberry is yet another brand from Bimbo Bakeries, the same group that controls multiple brands that harm diabetics. You're recognizing the pattern? Brownberry offers various lines that seem healthier: whole grain, whole wheat, multigrain. But this is pure marketing to seem premium while maintaining identical industrial formulation. Brownberry white bread has approximately 13 to 15 grams of refined carbs per slice, with added sugar. The glycemic impact is practically identical to Wonder Bread. Even Brownberry's whole grain lines contain hidden amounts of added sugar that you don't expect. Brownberry is a perfect example of how Bimbo Bakeries controls multiple apparently different brands, making you think you have choice when you're actually choosing between variations of the same industrial product. Recommendation: avoid Brownberry. Great Value, Walmart private label. Great Value is Walmart's house brand, bread that costs less than $2. You know why it's so cheap? Because it uses the worst additives it can find while still legally callable bread. Great Value frequently contains azotocarbonamide, an additive banned in several countries due to health concerns, multiple chemical dough conditioners, HFCS in massive quantity, and minimum fiber. A Great Value is basically a chemical experience. It's impressive that it's even edible for humans. For diabetics, Great Value is especially dangerous because beyond the high GI, it contains additives that cause inflammation that worsens insulin resistance. The worst is that many diabetics buy Great Value precisely because it's cheap, wanting to save money. But they're sabotaging their glycemic control by buying bread that causes worse spikes than more expensive brands. Recommendation: absolutely avoid Great Value bread. Dave's Killer Bread, worth it. Now let's move to brands that really are worth it for conscious diabetics. Dave's Killer Bread is a brand that started as a small artisanal company created by Dave Dahl. And unlike other brands that start small and then get bought by megacorporations and degraded, Dave's Killer Bread maintained its high standards. When you open a box of Dave's Killer Bread, the ingredient list is shockingly simple. You can read each ingredient and pronounce every one. Whole wheat flour, water, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, honey, salt, yeast. That's all. No L-cysteine. No azotocarbonamide. No monoglycerides of questionable origin. No HFCS. No industrial chemical additives. Dave's Killer Bread is certified organic. This means ingredients genuinely free of pesticides. It's non-GMO verified independently. It's often vegan certified, which means you know with certainty that no additive comes from questionable sources. But the most important for diabetics, Dave's Killer Bread has a glycemic index of approximately 50 to 55. Compare this with Great Value or Wonder Bread at 75 to 90. The difference is dramatic. The impact on blood sugar is 30% to 40% lower. Why? Because Dave's Killer Bread is loaded with genuine fiber and protein. One slice contains 3 to 4 grams of real fiber, not chemical additives, real fiber from seeds and whole grains. Dave's also has genuine protein of 5 to 6 grams per slice. protein slows sugar absorption. So when you eat Dave's Killer Bread with something containing protein, peanut butter, eggs, cheese, sugar absorption is much slower and controlled. Additionally, added sugar is practically zero. Dave's uses real ingredients, no hidden chemistry set. Diabetics who switch to Dave's Killer Bread report that they can finally eat bread without violent blood sugar spikes. No energy crashes. No desperation for more carbs an hour later. Dave's Killer Bread is widely available at Whole Foods, Kroger supermarkets, and many natural markets. Yes, it costs approximately double Wonder Bread. But your health and your glycemic control are worth more than a few dollars a week. Recommendation: Dave's Killer Bread is a genuine and excellent choice for diabetics. Hero Bread, worth it. If you want maximum glycemic control, Hero Bread is the answer. Hero Bread is specifically designed for people with diabetes and for keto dieters. And it's precisely engineered: zero net carbs, zero added sugar, zero glycemic impact. One slice of Hero Bread has approximately 0 grams of net carbs. This means no impact on blood sugar. Zero spikes. Zero dangerous jumps. For diabetics who've been traumatized by blood sugar spikes caused by conventional bread, Hero Bread is genuine liberation. Hero uses ingredients like wheat gluten, soluble fiber, and low-carb ingredients to create the texture and taste of genuine bread without the dangerous carbs. There are legitimate criticisms that Hero uses canola oil and modified wheat starch. These are not perfect ingredients. But for diabetics worried about blood sugar rising to dangerous levels, the trade-off is acceptable. Zero glycemic impact is more important than choosing ideal oils. Hero Bread is available online at hero.co and in many supermarkets now, including Walmart and Safeway. Available for delivery. Yes, Hero Bread is significantly more expensive than Wonder Bread. A 2-pack costs approximately $20. But for diabetics, this is direct investment in your health. Avoiding hospitalizations from diabetes complications is much more expensive than paying more for safe bread. Hero Bread allows you to eat bread without fear, without obsessively calculating carbs, without blood sugar spikes, without energy crashes. Recommendation: Hero Bread is perfect choice for diabetics who want zero carbs. The brutal truth is that 95% of bread in the American supermarket is a disaster for diabetics. White bread, multi-grain that isn't really whole grain, hidden sugar, no fiber. This is the recipe for dangerous blood sugar spikes that increase risk of severe complications. The 7 brands I revealed: Orowheat, Thomas's English Muffins, King's Hawaiian, Aunt Millie's Giant White, Stroman, Brownberry, Great Value, all prioritize volume and profit over your health. But genuine alternatives exist. Dave's Killer Bread and Hero Bread proved that it is possible to make bread that diabetics can eat with confidence. Dave's Killer Bread offers healthy bread with genuine fiber and protein, low GI, 50 to 55, safe for glycemic control. Hero Bread offers bread with zero glycemic impact, perfect for diabetics who want maximum control without sacrificing taste. Next time you're at the supermarket, don't buy based on pretty marketing or low price. Read the complete label. Look for less than 3 grams of added sugar per slice. At least 3 grams of genuine fiber per slice. Real ingredients you can pronounce. If possible, low glycemic index, below 55. Your health and your blood sugar will thank you. If this video helped you, share with other diabetics, leave a like, and subscribe for more investigations into foods the food industry doesn't want you to know about. Your glycemic control is more important than their profit.